A warm welcome once more to another training session. In this particular tutorial that we are going to look at, we would like to go over some of the things that would have been done before moving forward. So in the last two sessions, in session number 1, basic logging in would have been done, changing of password where needed, viewing your students in the classroom, and then creating the subjects for your class. And in the session number 2, you would have looked at assignments where you want to assign whether you're using a textbook and you are putting in the pages of a textbook, or you are assigning using the attachment feature. We also have where I showed you where you can do various handouts and where they can be uploaded. With regards to creation of a timetable as well too, I would have been doing that in the final part of session number 2. And therefore I would like to just go back to here where you will be able to see what we are doing in session number 3 with regards to, I want to just finalize the routine, show you what it would look like. I would also like to go through the adding of a lesson plan or a scheme of work, adding of record and evaluation where needed. And when I was looking at record and evaluation, I noticed something about the messaging section, and I would like to show that. And we will also look at the attendance. So let's go to the dashboard once more. And the first thing I want to just clarify and just make sure everyone is aware of is the routine. So on the academics routine, I just wanted to show you what it would look like when it is completed. Remember that in adding of the routine, you had to add routine where you would put in the class, you would put in the section, it's always the same, and your different subjects. One of the things that I wanted to clarify before moving forward is that if you, I will assume you would have had your routine in a Microsoft Word document or maybe on Excel, depending on how you would have done your routine. When you type up your routine and then you are sitting here to do the routine, it is very important that you do not skip out any of the different subjects. You try to put it in the order that it should be. So don't say you're putting in Friday, 11 o'clock, I have Spanish, and then coming back to put in at 9 o'clock on Friday, I have science. It should be done in the order, in the proper order. So with regards to here, I would suggest if you have if you have your timetable, just do the entire Monday. Then do the entire Tuesday, then do Wednesday, do it day by day so that it flows. This is a general idea of what the timetable looks like once it is completed. I will remind you that I said you must have, and for different reasons, you must have recess and lunch as a part of your subjects. Because then when you are putting in the timetable, you would want to show people when is recess and when is lunch on your timetable. That's number 1. Number 2, you must have a morning roll call and an afternoon roll call. The reason for that is for the primary school level. Remember, we take morning roll and we take afternoon roll, and you need to put it in as a subject. It must be placed. That's why one of the tutorials stressed on the subject part. I did mention that my language arts here, as an example, I did not split up language arts into 4 or 5 different things of grammar, spelling, vocabulary comprehension, etc. So you will want to do that. Phonics, depending on the level that you're at. I did not put in weekly tests. I did not put in creative writing. So obviously this is not the way that a standard 5 timetable will look, or the way that an infant class timetable will look, but it gives you a general idea of what your timetable looks like as you complete it. So that's basically routine. And now we will look at the scheme of work and lesson plan. So I'm going to go now to academic once more. Now there is a difference for me, if I'm dealing with scheme of work, if I'm dealing with maybe daily plans, if you want to let the principal know what are your plans for each day. So I'm not talking about record and evaluation in this sense, but I'm going to take under syllabus. And I am just going to check. I think I did one already. No, none is there. Good. So under syllabus, I'm going to add syllabus. Title, I'm going to call this daily plan of work. And I'm going to put the date to the 1st of August. The description. The attached document shows plans, shows a lesson for the above. Now, obviously, I mean, you all know that whatever you put in description is up to you, right? You would want to know what you are trying to write. Right, so here is where we can leave our lesson plan. So I kind of just downloaded from the Ministry of Education. I didn't do one, right? So I'm just going to take this sample blank and I'm going to add that. I'm going to do another one to just show you. Let's call this lesson plan week 1. Attached is the lesson plans for week 1 of term 1, right? So that if the principal, example, wants to go in, where is your lesson plan? She can get it from here, right? Let's just do another one. Obviously, I'm doing things randomly. Please remember, you would want to do things in order. You would want to probably put in, okay, miss, if you go to the syllabus, you're going to find my scheme of work for week term 1, September, right? So, right, September to December, mathematics schemes. Or you know, I don't know if you do yours at subject. I do sometimes. I like to do my subjects, my scheme of work subject by subject, and then compile it into week by week so that it shows up. If the teacher, if the principal wants to see the subjects, or the teacher or the principal wants to see them on a weekly basis, you know, that would depend on you. I'm just showing you this is the place, and obviously I'm not showing you how to create a lesson plan, right? You would know how to create a lesson plan or your scheme of work, etc. I'm just showing you that's what you can do. You can attach it, and we already had the conversation of attaching PDF, not Microsoft Word, PDF. So you see, if the principal now, so imagine if, for example, the principal wants to see your lesson plans for every single subject, and you have to do a lesson plan for maths, a lesson plan for language, creative writing, etc., then you can list out all, and the principal can see all right here, right? Obviously, there is a download button, so I'm just going to download this. Don't exactly know what I'm going to see. And there is your daily plan, right? So this is your daily plan here for, right? So the principal can see it in this sense, right? So this is where you can do your lesson plans. What I'm talking about here is if, for example, you're a subject teacher and you want to show your lesson plan for the entire term, thereafter, you know, you're doing an 8-week lesson plan of what you're going to teach in mathematics, what you're going to teach in grammar, what you're going to teach in spelling, what you're going to teach in comprehension. You can list them out here under this section, syllabus, so that the principal can see, even if you are a person like myself, sometimes I like to even let the parents know what I'm going to teach so that they can have an idea of what the time, what is going to be for it. So if you want to also, so the parents shall be able to see it as well if needed. However, with regards to record and evaluation, I would not suggest putting your record and evaluation here. Because if you put your record and evaluation here, then your lesson plans can be viewed by various people that you may not want to be viewing your lesson plans. So I would want to go under message. And that is why I have these two next to each other. Where would you add your record and evaluation, and how to use the messaging section? I did it in one thing. So if, for example, at our school, we would usually do record and evaluation on a weekly basis to let the principal know these are the topics that were taught and this is how it was received by the students. This is what I plan to do next week. So the record and evaluation is something that we are required to put out every week. Some places it may be every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, at the end of every month, depends. But that is something, as you know, in the school compound. So I clicked on message there, just a side note, I clicked on message. In the school compound, this is where you would actually walk into the principal's office and you will give it to the principal and say, Miss, this is my record and evaluation for the week. Then the principal will call you back at some point in time, you collect it. Maybe if you made an error or if you have something that needs to be clarified, she will be asking you, can you clarify this particular thing here? I'm noticing this, I'm noticing that. I noticed you made an error here, can you fix it? So it is a kind of back and forth collaboration that goes on. So if, for example, the week has come to an end. I taught maths, language, and creative writing this week, and I did my record and evaluation, and I have it to show to the principal. I will go to compose, and under here, I will look for, in our case, it's the admin, Miss Rodriguez, right? Subject, record, and evaluation, record and evaluation, week 1. Hi, Miss. Please find attached my record and evaluation for week 1, term 1. Good. Let me know if there are any errors or things which need to be clarified. And then I'm going to go here. I'm going to attach. And as I said, I don't have a record and evaluation, right? I am just going to use this. That's my record and evaluation there. And I'm going to send it. It sends like a message. And there it is. Good. So when I click on it, you would see the message. Hi, Miss, please find attached record and evaluation. And then she's like, okay, well, I'm seeing it. I'm going to open it. I'm seeing your record and evaluation here. Good. You can see your record and evaluation here for what, and then the principal, depending on if she needs to make adjustments, we will come to where she can make any adjustments with it being PDF. I'm just going to test something, so bear with me. What I wanted to kind of clarify is if you can do it on Word. I won't show you because it wasn't actually, it was just a random Word document I placed, but I'm seeing where you can attach documents that are Microsoft Word. So again, if the principal wants to edit, because you can't edit in PDF, but if she wants to edit it, you can do it in Microsoft Word, and you are able to give it to the principal, and the principal can actually edit the work. And why I like here for record and evaluation is because you can actually go back and forth with the principal, because you're not going to see your principal when you're home, she's home, he's home, etc. You are able to go back and forth. You're able to say, okay, here's what, go, I have sent it to you, Miss has checked it, Miss will check it back and send it back to me. She sees an error, she sends it back for you to fix. It is a good place for that sort of thing. And while we are on it, obviously composing, you can compose a message to anyone that you wish to on the system itself. So if I want to say I am going to compose a message to a teacher, and I'm going to select this teacher here, subject, clarify this question for question, sorry, right? Hi, sir, I am teaching angles and I came across angles and shapes. Can you please clarify the meaning of a right angle for me? Obviously, that's not a question that someone will ask you, but right, send that off. No attachment, nothing. You just send that off to Mr. Bisessa. Mr. Bisessa can actually check it. And again, this comes back to the sensitizing of the staff on using the system. This is something that someone would have done on WhatsApp, but obviously you want to keep your personal life separate. We don't want to be on WhatsApp. Everything is, your friends, your family, your loved ones are sending you stuff on WhatsApp. In addition to the principal is sending you on WhatsApp, the teachers are sending you stuff on WhatsApp, the children sometimes, depending on the age level, they are WhatsApping you in addition to the parents. So here we are with a good place to keep work separate from personal. And I'm able to now just WhatsApp here and say, can Mr. Vicesa clarify that question for me? Ms. Rodriguez, I need to speak to you. So, whatever it may be can be done in this lovely little spot here of composing. And if you sensitize the entire staff and you sensitize the students to, okay, this is where you all can come and talk to me. So imagine children as well too. You can use this conversation section. So I want to message a student from my class, right? Subject, mathematics, homework, right? Their guess, I corrected the math homework. Can you please review the questions you got incorrect? And then I'm going to attach the corrected work. And again, remember, I am randomly attaching stuff. So please don't take it as me actually attaching work, right? And therefore, student guests will get this message. Right? This is how it works. A nice place to send off your various messages, right? The final thing on this presentation is the attendance. Now, what I'm going to do is just to click on attendance here, student attendance, attendance, student attendance. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to add a student attendance. I'm not showing anything else with regards to that. So I'm going to add student attendance. So I have the class as a guest class. Please note that I only have one class. However, one student. However, for the teachers that are teaching the primary school level, where you only take a morning rule and an afternoon rule. That's why I have this here, right? So 31st attendance. As I said, I only have one class. So this child was late but present. Late but present. Came to school late. Obviously, you're going to see an entire list of your 20, 30 children. You can either have a child present, a child late. The parent had called you to state that the child was having difficulty logging into the system, and therefore the child was late with an excuse, or the parent never spoke to you, and the child comes in and the child is giving you an excuse of their own, but I would not call the child's excuse an excuse. I would want to know from the parent for sure that that is the excuse, or the child was absent, and obviously you would want to note your holidays, although because when we go back out, we would have like Republic Day, Diwali, etc. that may fall on holidays to also put in. So I'm going to put this child as late. Obviously, I may have a child present, a child absent, a child late with an excuse, etc. So I'm putting in a morning roll call. And I'm submitting that. And I realize that when you do it, it does not change the screen. So when you are finished, go back to the evening roll call. Change this to evening roll call. Click on attendance to the 1st of the 8th. And I'm going to put this child present. He was here after this lunch. Now, why do I have morning roll and evening roll? As I stated, we want to be able to say, as a primary school child, I started my class at 8 o'clock. The children were present. I sent them for lunch. The children were told to come back after lunch. The children were present after lunch. So we have a morning rule and an evening rule. For the secondary school level, and something that Mr. Powell would have mentioned to us with regards to the primary school as well, because we are on Zoom classes and we are using that forum, you may want to also do your roll call by subjects. So as you can see here, I have all of the subjects. Why? Because sometimes these children like social studies, they're present for social studies. But I had mathematics in the afternoon, they were not here for the maths class. And all of a sudden, they are back for the grammar class. In addition, it may not even be that. It may not be their fault. It may be that they were present in the morning for math. Electricity cut at their home, so they were not there for the language arts session after recess. Electricity came back, so they were here for the social studies. So if you want to go into the details of it, then you can go into stating that. You can go into stating each subject. But personally, I would go with things as it is here. So I'm just going to submit. I don't know if that was submitted. And I'm going to go back to student attendance. And I'm going to show you how it looks. Now, one thing that we would want to clarify, so I'm just going to show you, sorry. I'm just going to show you the child himself. So I select the class, and then I'm going to just view the child. And I will be able, now obviously it has not available, right? So I'm seeing here for morning rule, the child was late with excuse. And for evening rule, the child was present. And obviously as you go along, each child would have been here, and the months as well too would help you. So that's basically what attendance looks like. And it shows up on for each child. Once you have everyone, you're able to see if you want to print this out, if you want to view it in PDF, etc. Obviously it looks strange because you have not applicable, not applicable, not applicable, or not done. So obviously look strange. But could you imagine when it actually filled up, you have all of this present, 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 absent, absent, absent. That's basically our attendance. Again, it's very simple to do. Please pause the video, go back over it. It's extremely simple to take your attendance.